Hey guys, Reed Fused Auto Electrical. Behind me is another Epic 79 coming through the workshop. This is one of two business partners that we've done. We've recently finished the other Ranger. The canopy is very much the same. It's going to be a storage-based canopy with a decent work area. We've done everything in this thing. It's all boxes ticked. Come check it out. Starting at the front, we've got ARB bull bar, a pair of steady spotlights, another carbon 12K winch, UHF aerial, so GME, XRS, UHF in there with a 4014B aerial, very popular one. We've got the Easy Rod holder up front. That is a removable telescopic rod holder, so it's a nice, easy one to stow away, keeps it legal and compliant. You will notice at the front we've done custom powder coat on all the bar work, so front bull bar, side rails and steps have all been sent off and powder coated in the exact same colour as the tray base itself, so it keeps everything running quite smoothly forward and through. Adding to the custom bar work as far as the powder coat goes, we have also colour matched these flares as well, so we've sent them over, had them colour matched to the vehicle. The wheels and tyres, we've got a 285/70/17 with an ROH Assault wheel. These are a square set of wheels. We do have the J-Max track correction in the rear for this one. And we have also coordinated with J-Max ourselves to sort of give this customer a hand in doing a 3.9 tonne GVM upgrade as well. You do have Cat 6 indicator on the side of these with their kits. Clear view mirrors, so obviously a staple, these are the power fold. On the roof we do have another Rhino rack with Light Force Rock 20 Ultra Flood work light package. We've got 180 watts of solar up on the roof of the vehicle. We've got Max Tracks with a folding pin set on that right hand side, nice and easy to access, with a 40-inch Light Force light bar up under the front. Moving rearward, we do have a GCI tray and canopy. We've got the GT3 tray base with the full length canopy on that one, so a 1640 canopy. You will notice it's that same texture black as we mentioned as we've got for the steps and rails there. 2-pack doors both on canopy and toolboxes. Drop down on this rear left with a drawer on the right hand side. We'll go through that very shortly. On the headboard we do have standard keypads that we're doing for these Traytec builds, so this gives you all your work lights, so left, right, rear work lights, as well as a water pump. You can toggle it from outside the vehicle. You don't have to unlock the vehicle, so if you are doing any sort of muddy work or you're wet, dirty, you don't have to worry about unlocking and getting inside the cab of the vehicle or inside the canopy. So this one does have 32 litres of water down underneath that tray. It is plumbed into an electric water pump at the rear of the vehicle with your C-deck outlet at the rear. We've got the 270XT awning up on the roof. These are a staple go-to for these vehicles. Moving into the canopy, so this is one of two that we've done identical. If you have seen the Ranger that we've sort of released recently as well, you'll notice the internal config is the exact same. So we've got the 130 litre upright in this front left corner with all your Red Vision control system. So we've got 50 amp Anderson output here, 50 amp Anderson for solar input, accessory socket, dual USB. Using the Red Vision screen, we do have a full battery management system that gives us insight into battery state of charge, battery charging currents. It also gives us all of our lighting control, so we can do canopy lighting, left, right, rear work lights, water pump control and air compressor control, all from inside here. The Red Arc, the Rogue system, does power the fridge and accessory sockets in this canopy as well. We can integrate these into the vehicles. So for instance, in this 79 series, they don't have the factory upfitter switches like you do with the Rangers. We can, however, incorporate, so you've obviously seen our 4-way keypads here. We have additional 8-way keypads in the vehicle. So we can incorporate them into that system as well, so you can turn lights on from inside the vehicle, lights on from here, and they don't interfere. Depending on where you switch that load dictates where it's powered from as well. So from inside the vehicle, it's picking up off the under bonnet battery. So primarily while you're driving around town. And then when you are parked up, you've got full access to this auxiliary battery system here as well. You will notice that we've got this massive drawer system in the back of this canopy. So these boys have gone for that more work and play lifestyle build. So they do have plenty of storage for any of their tools on site Monday to Friday. Come the weekend, rip their gear out. There's ample storage for any of the camping getaway stuff. You will notice one difference on these bigger drawers. We do have a stiffener down the center of the drawer unit itself. This is just to increase rigidity, stop that drawer from flexing. These are still quite a large rating on these drawer slides, so definitely a decent workspace. Very handy being able to unload any sort of power tools, fixtures out of the drawer unit onto the bench, and then work from the rear of the vehicle where you're going to have a mirrored copy of this on the opposing side, giving you ample storage and work area. Up top, we do have the 600mm basket. These are a very handy feature. I use mine all the time for a lot of the stuff that you don't necessarily need to access all day, every day. In the back right corner, we do have a twin GPO. We've got 2 dual USB charging outlets as well. So those are definitely a very handy go-to. We will use those for charging any of your power tool batteries. Very handy having that basket up there. You can plug it in, tuck everything up top out of the way. One thing we will note, especially on these tradie style builds, we do have a dual skin on the inside of this door here. This is a bolt-in unit. So inevitably when something doesn't get tied down properly and it comes flying into the door, you're not going to get that damage on the outside of the door. It is a bolt-in skin, so if it does get damaged, we can send you out a replacement unit. It's about 12 bolts, very easy, 5-minute job. You can change that unit out. LED lighting, central locking, like always, LED lighting. We do have both white and amber. And then again, like I mentioned earlier, through the Red Arc Rogue, it is fully dimmable as well. So you can push and hold, dim that lighting right down. Moving down to the underside of the tray here now, we do have a drop down with a twin compressor and an aerial. The compressor in this unit is mounted on the back side of this toolbox. And then we've plumbed it through to a 30-foot aerial inside the vehicle here as well. Very simple to use. Undo, pull out the hose as you need it, wind it back up when you're finished. We do have massive storage on the back wall of this one. We've got LED work lighting up top, we've got a spare wheel carrier on the back of the canopy, and we've got a second dunny holder here. These can be used as both jerry can holder or a toilet holder as well. They can be used for storing any sort of firewood, any larger bulkier items as well that you just don't want to put in the canopy. They can also be used as a bit of a wet box. So there's drain holes down underneath them. So any of your wet products that you may not want inside the canopy, you can store here. They are a key lock, so you don't need to worry about padlocks. You don't have to worry about things being stolen. They're very easy to use, very effective as well. The spare wheel carrier here, we do have, again, on the end of it, room for a padlock, so you can preserve that tyre and try and minimise the risk of it being stolen. We do have our wash down at the back left corner here. At the rear here, we do have a massive 1 metre trundle drawer with lockable drawer runners. This does have a stainless lift up lid. These are obviously pretty close when you're running a big spare on the rear of this canopy. These are 240 kilo rated drawer runners, so they're more than enough to handle anything you're going to be able to store in this. Closing that one back up, these are a compression style lock. So you will notice on the drawer as we close that one, it does pull that drawer face in and actually seal against that seal on the back side of that drawer, keeping it dust and water resistant. Down low you will notice we've got an Anderson plug here. We've set this up so that a customer can carry or drag his caravan around. We do have a camera relocation service as well, so when we're doing these trays and canopies, obviously that's something that we've got to consider. The 79s don't have anything from factory, so this is all an aftermarket stereo and reverse camera system. We do have an overhanging roof rack up on top, so it's a 300mm overhang. Definitely when we have anything on this rear wall configuration, we do recommend going the overhanging roof rack, unless you're running twin spares on like an American truck. Two big benefits: it gives us a nice space to mount our rear work lighting to give us an ability to swivel and adjust that light. But also if you are going to add a tent or anything at the rear, especially if you have a ladder on that back wall, it does allow a bit more easier access to the roof. Moving around to this side of the canopy now, you'll notice this is definitely a storage focused canopy. Huge big drawer, mirror image of that left side of the vehicle with a massive big stainless workbench again as well. Like I said earlier, these are all lockable drawer runners, so they're not going to go flying in when you start loading them up, or if you are on a bit of a hill, it's not going to be something you're battling against all day. Beside that, we've got another drawer, nice big deep storage drawer. You will notice, however, it's a little bit shorter than the one to the left. Reason being, at the back of this one, that's where we store our 200 amp battery. We are running an Invicta lithium battery in this, so it's a 7-year full replacement warranty with a Bluetooth app as well, so very handy feature. Up above that, you'll notice our slimline power panel. These are definitely more popular with these tradie style builds. We can still fit a 2000 watt inverter in here. It's got all your circuit protection, your breakers. Everything's tucked away where it needs to be, so that it's not going to get damaged. We've got another Anderson outlet with solar input on this one, accessory socket and dual USB. You will notice again, up in the roof, and this is a very common one with any of your Traytec stuff, you do have your uni strut, so very handy if you're trying to add any roof baskets at a later stage or any other sort of fixtures into the roof, you've got those to do so. There is another cabin filter up top, so these are a vacuum sealed cabin filter, so what that means is as you're coming down through the road at highway speeds, it's going to create a vacuum into the canopy and actually pulls those canopy doors into the canopy, into those seals. We do have on this right hand side of the vehicle a drawer. So this is a very common one that we go to, is recommending a drawer on the right side, drop down on the left side. Reason being, you can add your aerials, compressors on that left side, so you are off the road if you do pull up. But then having the drawers, you definitely get a lot more versatility in what you can store and how easy it is to store. These do still all have LED lighting and central locking, so again, you're not missing out on any of those features like you do get on that left side. Again, on this right hand side of the vehicle, another switch panel, so we've got left, right, rear work lights with the water pump. It's a mirror image of that left side. One thing we haven't touched on is these are an RGB backlit switch, so we can actually program the colors. Typically we try to match them to vehicle colors, so your factory instrument cluster. Just keeps a bit more of a uniform finish, though they are fully programmable, so if you do have a special color in mind, let us know. We do have your removable canopy, your bypass plug, as well as your two Deutsch plugs. The last thing on this side of the vehicle that we're going to touch on will be the Safari R-Max snorkel. Obviously these are a staple go-to, everyone knows that. If you are intending to have any sort of tune done or any performance work, then that's going to be a really good base to start with, as far as most tuners are going to want some decent airflow into that engine. We do have a full range of underbody protection going onto this thing, as well as a full disc breather transmission. Moving to the interior, this thing we've gone all in. We've got Department of Interior T roof console. We've got all your new interior lights, so it's all LED lighting. Now we did want to keep this one pretty simple so you can prioritize your storage space without clutter up on top. However, we have added an 8-way keypad here that does his left, right, rear work lights. You can also control his forward-facing light bar and spotlights. Now both of those two circuits were programmed to tie in with the high beam of the vehicle, so they'll only be able to be used while the high beam of the vehicle is on, and then we can then toggle the lights on and off. We do also have control of the water pump, air compressor, and this one we have a pretty loud horn blasters horn on, so we can control that from up here as well. Moving down the bottom here, we've tried to keep this pretty clutter free, so we've kept it pretty simple. We've only got a tow pro on the dash, on this driver's side of the vehicle, and a clear view power fold button. In the center here we do have a GME XRS pass-through for his handpiece. This customer has decided against mounting his handpiece because he's not going to be using it all day every day. That will live in the glove box most of the time, and when he is ready to use it, tuck it out, remove it, plug it in, and then actually tuck it into a cup holder. You will notice this customer's gone all in on the J-Max stuff, so we've got the electronic suspension dampening control from up in the cab here. We do also have an upgraded center console through this vehicle as well. There is a couple of accessory socket USBs down the front as an addition built into this console. You've got a couple of cup holders, a nice little pocket to stash your wallet. We have done a pretty decent audio system in this one. We've gone for the Alpine OE Fit stereo, the i905. Personally, I think these are a fantastic unit. I don't think they can be beaten as far as providing a nice factory style finish. Giving it that clutter-free OE finish is just a big plus in my book. Tied in, we've got Department of Interior door consoles, both front and rear. That allows for speaker integration, as well as a couple of additional side pockets. Customers already supplied the vehicle with a couple of the one-stone armrests. These are a great addition. They're just a magnetic clip-on unit. Gives you somewhere to actually rest, and again, another cup holder. Leading into the comfort, we've got rid of the factory seats. This customer is doing a bit of interstate driving. So we've gone for a pair of the Recaro Orthopod seats. These are a bolt-in unit. We can supply these in-house. We engineer them, get it all done, ready to go. They're fully electric. In the back, we've gone for a set of black duck seat covers, just a nice black set, keeps it nice and tidy, matching the color of the front seats. In behind, we have done a little bit here for this customer. So we have gone for a Department of Interior's rear console on the wall. So that gives us this nice piece that's sort of covered and protected properly, and then a subwoofer enclosure as well. We have gone and added child seat restraints on that back wall of this vehicle as well. So we've got the key box unit there on that left-hand side. So anyone who is wondering, that's the brains of the unit. That actually is what we program and set up to do what we need to do with these vehicles. All right guys, we're stoked to be part of another epic work and play setup. This is definitely a lifestyle build. We're getting more and more of these coming through the door, people wanting that versatility between Monday to Friday and the weekend. If you're looking for something like this, reach out today. We'd love to be involved.